Welcome to Successfully Ambiguous. I'm Christine Brooks-Cappadocia.
Today we're going to meet Josie Ferry, who took something that happens to all of us and owned it, found power in it, and asked for what she needed, and has really built something to help other people thrive in times of significant change, perhaps unexpected change. So let's open the door and meet Josie Ferry. You are an entrepreneur. You have your own divorce coaching business, which you've expanded into family mediation.
Yes,
Tell me about jumping from being an employee into an entrepreneur. That's a big change.
it is. It's been a year. And so I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit. So I often think back to my first job, which was McDonald's, where it really built the work ethic, but also the potential of business. So I've always been curious about business and working in HR. So when I was faced with a restructure, I thought, this is the time to really invest in myself and find something that I'm passionate about. Already working in divorce coaching and really had the honor working with people going through one of the most difficult times in life and saw a real need for the alternative dispute resolution. So how do you stay out of court? Divorce means you've got differing opinions. It doesn't mean it has to be hard though. So I really thought about how can I take my strength and my experience and expand my services to create that space to help people resolve their issues. And that's what brought me to the decision to go back to school full time and also really change my life and lean into becoming an entrepreneur. With that is a lot of learning every day, learning technology, building websites, working on all things business.
As you were talking, I was thinking about one of the founders of our family mediation program who I want to say founded it about 25 years ago. We've reinvented it, obviously, and revised as the world has changed. But I remember him saying to me that the reason he was so invested in the idea of mediation rather than he came from the law school was that it was a leading cause of poverty in Canada and it didn't have to be, right? The only people winning were the divorce lawyers. And granted, there's a need for divorce lawyers, but there had to be a better way for many.
Yeah.
You've designed learning programs. I know you've taught at colleges.
Mhm.
Did any of that prepare you for becoming a student again? Because that's a big shift for many people.
It did. I'd say I found myself coaching myself while I was in class, reminding myself of the best practices that I would coach my leaders or the team members on the team. Change and learning is continuous in our world. So as a student, I had to remember some of the things that I would say often, like learning is hard work. So you need to give yourself space to get a good night's sleep and feed yourself and make space in your life to actually take in information and give yourself the energy to keep going. It's not easy, especially the older you get, right? So
Well, and it is harder as an adult because you have life experience to incorporate into what you're learning.
yeah,
That is a best practice. So your advice is great because best practice and andragogy is so the art of adult learning is that people need time to reflect and incorporate
mhm,
those experiences before they go on and master the next thing. So
yeah.
great advice. Did anything surprise you being on the other side of the lectern?
Thinking about the dynamic of the classroom, I hadn't been with such a mix of people coming from all walks of life and professional backgrounds. So that was surprising in a good way because we all brought a richness to the group activities. The program was well designed and gave us an opportunity to really contribute and collaborate together. So that was surprising in a good way. I learned also very quickly to be proactive and organized because life happens. And, if you've got kids and every other aspect of your life, something's going to go sideways. So through the program, being on top of things and doing things in advance, for me, really helped me keep a balance between learning and working and the rest of life.
If you could leave the audience with something you just wish people knew about navigating their career paths and their life's journey, what would it be?
I think you said it earlier. It's really around we learn and grow from reflecting and getting feedback. So build your community of people that will be honest with you and find a mentor. And your mentors are going to change. So your mentor can be within your job, it can be within your area, someone that's going to be really honest with you to really help you get clear on who you are and then open your mind to the possibilities. Because when you're reaching for something that you've yet achieved, you don't know what that looks like. So having someone that's been there and done that can really create that creative tension for you to explore what you want. And I think that really helps. And I don't know if a lot of us do that as much as we can because maybe we don't know how. And so my second piece of advice is just ask. Just ask, because the answer can be no, or a lot of my mentors have been really honored to be asked and get a lot of reward in supporting me in my career. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I love that you framed it as tension sometimes, that because that's often the most meaningful advice, and the things you need to hear most are
Mhm.
those things that when someone says to you, you immediately think, or at least in my life, I've gone, is that something I really need to hear? Or is that true? That feels hard to hear. And then in reflection, you can see where they're coming from, and it's often the most valuable advice.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, a lot of us like to be seen and heard. So having someone that can validate our experience and then give guidance that we didn't know we needed, really, especially as you're career transitioning and you're thinking about, do I stay in the field I want to be in, or do I try something new? And those are big decisions for people and emotional decisions. So having your support system while you're going through that, I think is so critical. Yeah.
And I can really see your coaching experience coming through in that advice, right? It's
Yeah.
very trauma informed as well, right? It's about how do you do what's right for you and come from it with a position of wholeness and strength, which
Yeah.
is well,
Well
Josie,
said.
I've so enjoyed having you on the show. It's been an absolute pleasure to meet you, and I hope you'll stay in touch as your business grows.
For sure. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you for joining me for this episode of Successfully Ambiguous. Be sure and subscribe to us on YouTube and listen to us on Apple and Spotify. If you've got career questions, be sure to email me at successfullyambiguous@yorku.ca. Don't forget, when opportunity knocks, be ready to answer.